Tonight, we report on how long the smoke will remain in Grant County and how a new grant will help at-risk students in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Sean?
The Apple Sox Keston Naira receives national recognition, and the UW basketball program receives a verbal commitment from a 5-star recruit. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, we still remain with high temperatures well above normal for this time of year. We will have a cool down and also we'll have a slight chance of showers. I'll let you know when, just ahead with your extended forecast.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One look or one breath, and it's obvious the smoke in the air is bad. The State Department of Ecology labeled it as unhealthy after taking readings at the Moses Lake Monitoring Station. The smoke is coming from fires in Chelan and Okanagan counties. Ecology officials recommend people limit the time they spend outside and avoid exercising outside. It's also advised people avoid strenuous indoor activities. People with asthma, respiratory infections, diabetes, lung or heart disease, or had a stroke should stay indoors. Smoke from the fires is expected to remain in the area until Wednesday, when winds should increase and blow smoke out of the area. The Soap Lake Community Senior Center is hosting a fundraiser this week to help raise money for facility upgrades. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Soap Lake Community Senior Center is hosting a salmon dinner on Wednesday to raise money for the center. Dave Hoffman, who represents Soap Lake Community Senior Center, said the salmon dinner happens at noon Wednesday in the center at 121 2nd Avenue Southeast. Hoffman said $2,000 and a 600-pound safe was stolen from the center last year, so the center stepped up its fundraising activities. Hoffman recently installed a motion sensing and infrared security system at the center, which he controls from his home. Marina Romeri, former mayor of Soap Lake and owner of Notaris Lodge and Don's Restaurant downtown, donated the salmon for the Wednesday fundraising meal. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
A man and woman allegedly shot at a farm worker and later led police on a chase from Moses Lake to Othello. Prosecutors charged Guillermo Valdez, a 27-year-old Othello man, and Alondra Yanez, an 18-year-old Royal City woman, in Grant County Superior Court with drive-by shooting, possession of a stolen firearm, possession of a stolen vehicle, and attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle. The two were allegedly driving on property near Road 5 Southeast on August 17th when a farm worker approached them and they drove away. The worker reportedly continued to follow the vehicle when he saw Valdez fire 3 shots at him near Lynn Cooley. Deputies allegedly found the car, and as they chased the suspects on State Route 17, Yanez allegedly pushed a welder out of the car. Deputies avoided it as it landed in the road. Othello Police and Adams County deputies caught them after they parked the car and ran. At least $2,000 worth of tools were stolen from the Marshall's retail store while it is under construction in Moses Lake. According to the Moses Lake Police, the tools were found missing early after someone pried open a doorway to the business on North Stratford Road the night before. The suspects reportedly fled through the rear delivery door after taking several Milwaukee brand power tools and batteries. Some of the items are marked with holes or TCC. Anyone with information is asked to call the Moses Lake Police at 509-764-3887. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Cristina Sanchez with your local weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. We're still under critical fire conditions within our area. There is a red flag warning just to our north and east. Across our Columbia Basin, we still have warm and dry conditions, but there will be a relief in temperatures, and also we'll have a slight chance of showers as a cold front moves into the area as we end this weekend. High temperatures today right around 90 degrees, and the average high for us here in Ephrata is right around the mid-80s. We did start off the day slightly below the average low temperature for this time of year, which is in the upper 50s, the average, and our record high temperature was set back in 1996, and the record high was 102. Our sunset at 7:52. For you in Moses Lake, your low temperature today in the lower 50s, and today's high temperature right around 90 degrees. Your average high for this time of year is right around the mid-80s, and your record high temperature was set back in 1996, and it was 97 degrees. It's still quite warm out there with temperatures currently right around the upper 80s and winds blowing from the south between 5 to 10 miles an hour. We still have hazy conditions across the area, and there's still poor air quality due to high concentrations of wildfire smoke, and especially throughout the morning hours. That is why we're still under an air quality alert within the area. Dry conditions will continue throughout the overnight hours into Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Once again, cloud cover will begin to take place throughout Wednesday night along the Cascades and within our area for Thursday. Now, as we go into this weekend, there's a cold front that's going to be moving in. This will drop the temperatures right around the mid to upper 70s, but this is as we end the weekend. For now, we'll continue to have high temperatures right around the mid 90s for you in Yakima with plenty of sunshine. Seattle, high temperatures slightly above the normal high for this time of year. You are right around the lower 80s, and the inland northwest, your high temperature right around the lower 90s. Plenty of sunshine, hazy conditions. There's still dense areas of smoke out there, and for us, we still have highs right around the mid 90s, still above the average high for this time of year, about 10 degrees. For you in Moses Lake, your high temperature right around the lower 90s. Royal City, 94 as the high for Wednesday afternoon. Within the next 7 days, we will have changes coming up. As we go into Friday, we'll be dropping in temperatures in the mid 80s. For Saturday and Sunday, finally we'll have a relief in temperature as a cold front moves in, and dropping those temperatures in the upper 70s for the weekend, and a slight chance of showers coming up on Sunday starting off for Saturday night. And we'll begin the next work week with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Low temperatures for tomorrow right around the low 60s. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back with sports.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
Keston Ira has been named to the Perfect Game All-America First Team roster. Perfect Game USA is the world's largest scouting report service and has become a valuable and respected resource for college recruiters and MLB scouts. Ira played center field for the Apple Sox this season and inked his name in the record books for the Wenatchee Ball Club. We had a chance to catch up with Keston during the season.
Keston hit for a .356 average while playing for the Sox, breaking the single-season record in doubles, triples, and total bases. Keston's approach at the plate has been simple. He's not looking to break records, just looking to make contact.
I haven't really been paying attention to it. I've just been told, people coming up to me saying congratulations, but you know, it's just an honor. You know, just trying my best, hitting the ball as hard as I can. And
Keston has put in a ton of hard work on the field to be where he's at. The Sox center fielder gives praise to his hitting coach back in California for giving him confidence at the plate.
I've been with a hitting coach since I was 8. His name's Sean Thompson. You know, he's pretty much guided me to where I am now. And you know, not only the physical side of hitting, but also the mental side. So very thankful for his advice and his guidance throughout this whole process.
Keston hopes his monster numbers in Wenatchee continue back at UC Irvine. He expects big things from his college team this season and is hungry to show why.
So, you know, getting that experience under the belt, it's going to pay off a lot this year. So excited for the year to come.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wills.
Hira capped off his season with the Apple Sox reaching base in 41 consecutive games. He ranked first in 4 hitting categories in the West Coast League, and his name appears in 15 of 17 top 10 categories. We wish Keston continued success when he steps on the diamond for UC Irvine. The University of Washington men's basketball team picked up another huge recruit. This one is 5-star recruit Markelle Fultz out of Maryland. The 6'5" shooting guard chose the Huskies over Arizona, Louisville, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Fultz is ranked 22nd on Scout.com's top 100 list and expected to crack the top 10 when the new rankings come out this week. Markelle averaged 16.5 points last season at powerhouse program DeMatha Catholic. Fultz is the second prospect to commit to UW's 2016 class, along with 6'10" New Zealand center Sam Timmons. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
For 12 years, E-Freight has hosted the best free music festival in Washington. This year was no exception with performers like Austin Jenks. And you're going to meet him and other headliners like Greg Raleigh, founding member of Santana and Journey. Welcome to iFIBER 1's Inside Look at Basin Summer Sounds.
She says she talks to angels. They call her out by her name.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a pedicab service started in Moses Lake by a U.S. Navy veteran. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Troy White grew up in Moses Lake and recently served a 5-year stint in the U.S. Navy. While based in San Diego, he noticed hundreds of pedicabs or motorized rickshaws touring people around the streets and sights of that seaside city. White brought home his entrepreneurial spirit, investing in and restoring a used pedicab to start up his own business, White Bikes.
I've been studying entrepreneurialism since I was 22, but then I've wanted to own my own business since I was 13. So I'd mow lawns and do whatever, make money. So I kind of had that entrepreneur mindset of wanting to make money.
White installed a lawnmower engine to the once stripped-down bike. It allows him to carry 3 adult passengers. He added a stereo system he can remotely control and USB outlets so passengers can charge their phones. At times, especially on Saturday nights, White's pedicab is a rolling party. The Big Bend Community College student explained why he wanted to give people rides around Moses Lake's downtown.
The #1 reason why I'm doing it is so I can put money in my pocket while I'm going to school. Yeah, that's the #1 reason. #2 is because it's opportunity. It's opportunity for Moses Lake to have something like this.
White sees himself as opening a new service for the tourism market in Moses Lake.
I'm leading the market when it comes to even tourism or helping people have a good time. So it's a leader in that role.
Who are White's customers?
I'm doing not a pub crawl, but I'm traveling people around from bar to bar. I've done a couple of dates. I've done one bachelorette party. I'm brand new. And yeah, I like doing tours. You know, people just want to ride it just to ride it.
White hopes to capitalize on future events in Moses Lake.
When the parade was in town, I would go just around the block. Just around the block, that's it. And people would pay $3. They'd huddle up all their kids on there and they'd pay $3. And it was worth it to them. You rode it yourself. It's a fair ride. It's like a roller coaster.
You can call White at 509-771-9011 or email at troyskateshop@gmail.com. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back. 2 people were injured in a collision late Saturday night in Moses Lake. Shannon Gonzalez, a 45-year-old Moses Lake woman, was driving a 2002 Mitsubishi Galant on North Paxson Drive when she reportedly failed to stop at a stop sign at West Valley Road. According to the Moses Lake Police, on Monday, Gonzalez struck a passing Mitsubishi Outlander. The collision caused the Outlander to strike a 2002 Dodge Dakota on West Valley Road. Gonzalez and the driver of the Outlander, 46-year-old Lorene Barnett, were injured and taken to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake. The driver of the Dodge, Jacqueline Sweet, a 20-year-old Moses Lake woman, was not hurt. Moses Lake Police issued Gonzalez a ticket for failing to stop at a stop sign. The Columbia Basin Technical Skills Center received a $30,000 grant from AT&T as part of its mentoring program to help at-risk students. The grant helps the school establish mentorship between students at risk of not completing their high school education with adults in the community who will guide them to graduation and into a career path. CB Tech Director Christine Armstrong said the input of private grant money means more students are eligible to be in the program if they meet the requirements. The telecommunications company created the Aspire Mentoring Academy with the goal of providing 1 million hours of student mentoring by the end of 2016. The Moses Lake School District is accepting registrations through Friday from parents wishing to enroll their children in kindergarten this year. The first day of school is September 2nd. Students entering kindergarten for the 2015-2016 school year must be 5 years old by no later than August 31st through 2015. Parents must bring a copy of the child's birth certificate or state-issued identification, current immunization records, and proof of residence inside the district's boundaries to enroll. Forms like a utility bill or rental agreement are accepted. Registration forms are available on the district's webpage or at the district's office located at 920 West Ivy Avenue. In Northwest news, a homeowner who refused to evacuate as the Okanagan Complex fire approached his home nearly died trying to save his property. KCPQ's Steve Kiggins spoke with the man about how he escaped the flames.
Officials say only a handful of homes have burned to the ground so far, but I've witnessed at least a dozen myself today. I spoke with one man who now has third-degree burns on his arms after he escaped the firestorm.
It's all over. It's bark or something. It's just...
Mark Desdier is a lucky man. He thought he was going to die here at Emerald Lake.
All these trees were on fire at the time, and it just blew up in here.
Home after home were reduced to rubble. Mark fought to save his own cabin until the fire forced him to flee.
It went from like 20-mile-an-hour winds to like 40 or 50-mile-an-hour winds. Boom, like that.
This is the view from my front yard.
The huge plume of smoke quickly turned into an approaching wall of flames. Tony Griswold tried to help Mark save his home too, but he also had to run for his life.
It rolled through the treetops over us.
Tony drove his truck to safety, but Mark only had a four-wheeler and he had to jump into the lake to survive.
This dock saved my life. Just taking slow, deep breaths and staying under the dock.
He swam for more than an hour until he could run for help, and his injuries tell the tale of the firestorm.
Third-degree burns from my elbow to my hands. This was solid flames.
On Saturday, Mark and his wife Tony trekked into the woods to see if their place survived, and they found it unscathed.
Hey, honey. Honey, I saved the cabin.
I'm in utter shock and amazement. I really am. I'm so blessed.
Their lakeside home is surrounded by scorched earth and burned trees, but they still have a place to live and each other.
I'm good to go. A little gash in my forehead. I lost a little bit more hair in the fire, but oh well, life's good.
Firefighters are making progress on containment, but a red flag warning from Sunday into Monday could mean this fire has room to grow. In Omak, Steve Kiggins, Q13 Fox News.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Welcome back. Moses Lake native James Sauceda is Big Bend Community College's new STEM director. His new role is lead administrator of the college's $4.4 million federal STEM grant. The money is to help the college increase student enrollment and transfer to universities to study science, technology, engineering, and math. Sauceda graduated from Big Bend in 2004 with a transfer degree, allowing him to enroll at Washington State University. He graduated with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering in 2009. He is working to earn his master's degree in mechanical engineering later this year. Big Bend President Terry Lees stated that James' story is an example of what they hope to achieve with the STEM grant. He's a local high school graduate who earned his degree and returned to the area. About 600 fruits and vegetables were entered at an exhibit at the Grant County Fair this year. Reporter Jeff Chu spoke with Master Gardener Trudy Walsh to see how the produce is judged.
The heat and smoke from wildfires this summer reduced the number of tomatoes entered in the Grant County Fair fruit and vegetable exhibit. So says Master Gardener Trudy Walsh, who is co-superintendent of the fair's agriculture building with Master Gardener Karen Fowler. Walsh says growing conditions made it difficult for blossoms to set on the tomato plants. Despite the gardening issue, about 600 fruit and vegetables were entered at the exhibit. Walsh said vegetable and fruit gardening is getting more popular.
Absolutely, and composting and the whole buying local and knowing where your food comes from. And one of the things I'm a big proponent of, and I go around and I've gone to schools and things teaching, is container gardening. So even if you're living in an apartment, you should be able to grow your own vegetables, grow your own fruits, and compost.
Some of the more unusual homegrown entries included a long trombone squash, purple tomatillos, purple cherry tomatoes, 3 massive onions, and a pumpkin that ripened to orange a month early. Kids also had fun with what they grew. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Prosecutors dropped felony charges against an 80-year-old Wilson Creek man for taking his ex-wife out of a nursing care facility on Christmas. Deputy Prosecutor Ed Owens asked Grant County Superior Court Judge John Antos to dismiss charges of unlawful imprisonment and reckless endangerment against Philip Pearson. The case was being moved to Grant County District Court, and Pearson faces 1 count of custodial interference. The charge is a gross misdemeanor, and Pearson can face up to 1 year in jail. Pearson reportedly took his ex-wife out of the McKay Health Care and Rehabilitation Center and drove the 77-year-old woman to his home in Wilson Creek. She was in the facility to receive end-of-life care and was unable to make decisions. The tactical response team entered the home to arrest Pearson and rescue the woman. In Northwest news, 3 firefighters are dead as raging wildfires continue to grow in central Washington and more residents are being forced to evacuate. Cairo's Natasha Chen has the story.
It's hard for firefighters to continue stamping out these flames, knowing 3 of their own died doing the same thing.
It hurts, you know, it tears you apart, but at the same time, you know, we want to do what they would want, and that would be to finish the job.
The worst is the fire. I don't want anybody to burn.
I told evacuees leaving Twisp and Winthrop who hadn't heard yet about the loss of 3 Forest Service firefighters.
Oh, jeez, no.
The fire is one thing, but the loss of life is the worst case scenario.
You can always rebuild a home, but you can't rebuild a life.
Right.
Alan and Christine Bisnet looked out their backyard and saw this smoke coming. They soon got a visit from the sheriff telling them to evacuate. They had just enough time to grab their dogs and the lasagna Christine just finished cooking in the oven.
I didn't know it was going to be that quick. The last time we had time to prepare.
Everyone we talked to mentioned a last time because they've all been through this before.
You know, people lose things.
Deanne Barry hadn't even unpacked the suitcase she had during last year's Carlton Complex fire.
This is one of my favorite of my girls.
She has photos, her Nana's Bible, and the hope that they'll all still have a home to come back to.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.